Good morning, Carolina. I'm Calista Pushman.
And I'm Kronsberg. We're back, live in person, and live in color, and all that jazz.
We are here every week keeping you up to date on what's happening on the USC campus and around Columbia.
This week on the show, all is fair in food and food.
And a sneak peek of a night of movies and comedy with no slapping this time.
And later, an event to remember combined with a chance to show up our upstate neighbors. Sign me up. Good morning, Calista. Now, as college students, we're always looking for a cheap way to get some food, and fried food especially. And I hear you have a great opportunity for that.
I sure do. The Spring Fair drive-thru is in town next Monday, the 19th through Saturday, the 24th. A fantastic excuse to stay in your car and grab some funnel cake. So a drive-thru opportunity to get all of your favorite fair foods open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. Plenty of time to go in and get literally the best part of a state fair, which is the funnel cake and the fried Oreos.
Absolutely, and even though we had the fair back in the fall, this is kind of like a holdover, one of those things that we learned might actually work from the COVID era, from the peak of COVID, and I'm super excited about this. I mean, I know that SGTV alum Casey Lattimore, who we absolutely adore, she covered the drive-through fair back in fall of 2020. Now it's back, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'd like to think that we have something to share in the clout that the fair got, you know, SGTV and our popularity.
There you go. Well, coming up next Thursday, we're going to have Thursday After Dark. It's a night at the Fireflies. That'll be April 21st. Now, buses will start from the Horseshoe at 6, and it'll be, or you can park your car at Segra Park, $5 per car. The game starts at 7, and you can get your free ticket by stopping by the Gamecock Entertainment tent next to the box office. I think it's kind of canon on this show that I love baseball. So this is amazing. I mean, we've highlighted a lot of great Thursday After Dark events this semester, like, you know, the escape rooms and the Lion King. I don't know if we highlighted the Lion King is great, but axe throwing is great. But obviously, I think it's a great opportunity to go see some local baseball with the Fireflies. So super cool.
No, I agree. Someone who's never been, it's something that I need to like check off my like being in Columbia, South Carolina bucket list. Another thing off the bucket list, though, Elton John, rescheduled for May 2020, is visiting COLA on his Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. So he'll be performing at Colonial Life Arena at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, the 20th. Now, tickets start at $110 for those who really want to see the Rocket Man. And as someone who really wanted to see the Rocket Man, I've got like a half rant. I was literally just texting my roommate before the show started about this event. We bought tickets like way early last semester, maybe even last year. We were supposed to see him yesterday. I think that he's like 3 years behind in like schedule. Like it's been a really long farewell for Elton John.
I think this is amazing. I mean, we've talked about a lot of concerts this semester too, but Elton John is super special. I mean, I think he represents a lot as a cultural icon. Plus his music kind of slaps. I made a playlist at the beginning of the year and I was gonna add one song to it every day of the year, so I had 365 at the end. It was called 2022 Feels. It lasted about 2 weeks, but that's not the point.
It's pretty good.
The first or second song that I put on there was the Cold Heart Dua Lipa Elton John remix, and so he's super cool. And I saw Rocket Man a few years ago.
I think, as much as I say it's been a really stretched out farewell, I'm pretty okay with it. The longer that Elton John's sticking around and performing, I think the happier we're all gonna be.
I mean, we don't want him to leave. He probably doesn't want to leave, so let's
he's procrastinating it and he's stretching it out. It's cool. It's cool, Elton, if you're watching this, you know.
There you go. Yeah, because Elton John is watching our show.
I'm really hyping SGTV up today.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that are related to SGTV, our fourth event, and actually the one that is coming the soonest, there's going to be a 1080C film festival / Carolina Tonight live comedy show tonight. So 1080C, that'll start at 7 p.m. And they're going to feature 8 of the 18-plus films that were submitted, give out a few awards, and then right after that at 9:45, it'll be the Carolina Tonight live show. We'll see a couple comedy skits and the wonderful hosting of their executive producer, Ethan Goodman. So it'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
Those are both in the Russell House Theater tonight.
We talk a lot about going to events. This is one that we certainly will be at. We'll be cheering front row and also, helping live stream if you want to tune in specifically to that Carolina Tonight live show. It's a fantastic group of people. I mean, we're kind of biased being the heads of the station, but you definitely do not want to miss out. And you also don't want to miss out on the rest of this morning's show. So coming up, it was a colorful week in the University of South Carolina as some very special performers paid a visit. So stay tuned.
Welcome back. This week, Carolina Productions and Iris put on a very special show over at the Russell House.
That's right. This past Wednesday was the annual Birdcage drag show headlined by Farrah Moan and featuring local kings and queens like Ebony Wood, Medusa Chaos, Oliver Closeoff, and more.
But the major story of the night was how it responded to a condemnation of a similar show at Clemson over the weekend.
We've seen an increase over the past few years in LGBTQ representation, and sometimes we feel like we're getting in a really cool, safe spot, and I think USC is definitely doing a lot to get there. But we just saw at another university in South Carolina where they put on a drag show, and there was a student organization that put out a really awful letter damning the drag show.
Yeah, so starting off with, I guess, the more positive end of things, both of us being at the show, covering it with the buzz. It was phenomenal, just the energy in the room, the positive energy, especially, of course, coming off of the controversy that happened at Clemson. It was just nice to see so much positivity towards something that has been receiving such unnecessarily negative feedback.
I mean, there was just such a really cool energy in this room. I mean, it was packed for one, but the way everyone was singing along and interacting with the performers, it was just a blast to be there. And it was the first drag show that I've actually ever been to. So it was really cool for me too. I'm just gonna say that.
For a first drag show, that's definitely a very worthy first show.
Absolutely.
I think it captures the energy just right, and it is especially special, especially after talking to queens like Ebony Wood, speaking on how it's a different environment from performing at just a bar. Like a bar, you have a wide range of ages, people coming from many different places, but having it specifically be a college campus with college kids and faculty was just really, really special, and it does a lot. Speaking towards just like visibility of the LGBTQ community, and especially being in the South and a more like conservative state, it's just a really important event that I'm really grateful that our university puts together for us.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm so grateful that it happened, which really makes me sad to see what happened at Clemson. And don't get me wrong, the show was pretty well received at Clemson. I have a lot of friends that go there. I read through a lot of Instagram comments. People really enjoyed it. And I know one of my best friends was there. She had a blast. But then to see one group steal all the headlines with hateful comments and under the guise of some sort of religious liberty, it really kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
No, I agree. And hopefully the show will continue to happen over at Clemson, and we'll get some justice towards the show and see some more positivity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to seeing both the Tiger Live show and the Birdcage show next year, because I know they're going to be better than ever.
Oh, yeah.
Well, after the break, a look at your weekend weather and a rant from yours truly, so stay close. May is right around the corner, and the weather's definitely showing it, with sweltering heat beginning to rear its ugly head this week.
Yeah, after a little bit of a wet weekend, highs hop up into the 70s and 80s at the end of next week, with relief seemingly further and further away.
And with that, I'm going to double down on my stance from last week, stay inside. So let's once again pivot to Will and Calista each talk about one thing, aka time for my soapbox.
Oh,
and this week I'm talking about finals.
Oh.
Now, finals are coming up in just over a week, about a week and a half, right here at the University of South Carolina. And I just want to reiterate how, of course, it's important to study, to get a good night's sleep, all those basic things. But it's also important for professors to know that their students are taking anywhere from 12 to 16 or 17 credit hours. So it's not a time to, perform a one-man show, to act like the spotlight is all on you. I'd like to see, both on the student and the professor side, everybody being patient with one another and doing a good job of spacing things out, making it easy for professors to grade, making it easy for students to be able to get in all of their finals and final projects and all of that in a solid amount of time. So let's not put undue stress on each other.
No, I agree. Like, I feel like everyone benefits because as much as like we're sitting here complaining about like, oh, the essays we have to write, the assignments we have to do, the professors have to grade all of that. Like, why are we putting so much in this last, like the home stretch before finals? Like, I've got like research papers and readings and textbook quizzes. Like, it's just like, why, you know?
And for a journalism student, no less.
Exactly. Like, we're not even looping in the STEM majors. I mean, me living with my two lovely STEM major roommates, both of which we have like a giant whiteboard. It's just filled with study material that's like so beyond me. Like, I don't know. It's certainly much. It's certainly too much. And we have other things to do. We have things like this to do.
It's a lot. You'd think our education system would have aged out of a system where after 4 months, give or take, of solid academic instruction, we're still backloading the semester, still piling stuff at the end. Never made sense to me.
Yeah, we were having a discussion, I think earlier in the week, about like our energy at the beginning of the semester is like really high. Everyone's pretty motivated, you know, coming off of a break. You're rested and ready to learn more. And then it just goes down as it goes. And then difficulty of classes just goes up at the opposite rate. You know, math, guys. It's not right. It's not cool.
At least it's two forces working towards each other. So grades, they're not fluctuating. They're just steadily going down because energy's going down and difficulty's going up. So, you know, it's just one solid trend. Really.
It is.
For better, worse, for worse. Anyway, what do you have for us this week?
I was going to think of a fun pivot, but I think I'm just going to get right into talking about it. So every show, I wear really fun earrings. I don't know if they come off on the camera very strong. Today I've got these like Lego like pride earrings, because you know we were talking about pride a little bit. I plan sometimes, you know. And so I just want to take a minute. I want to talk about these earrings in particular. Again, really different vibe to your rant today. So I've had these earrings for a while, and the fun thing about them is that they're functional. Like I can like take the pieces off. And so I've been trying to figure out like what Legos to buy for them. If I should just like get like people on there. Like I can make like a Will and a Calista. Ooh. Wouldn't that be iconic?
Build a pride wall with them.
You build a whole. I can like have like, I can make them really like unnecessarily long. Like, I know we're putting this on YouTube. In the comments, any of my favorite viewers, if you want to put what you want on my earrings, that'd be phenomenal. Because I think I could have some fun with these. Of course, I can like just like take them off and like match them to a fit. Will's just like blankly nodding at me, guys. I can make them match anything, but also I could just make something really, really weird and obscure.
No, I mean, I think it's actually an amazing idea. Put little people on there, and then just like, when you're like, you know, mad at somebody, you can just flash them out and have extra eyes looking at them.
I could just have like my hair here, then I'll be like,
just really intimidating. Be like, you might say that to me, but would you say that to little me? Be kind of funny.
It would be really funny. Yeah. Any future argument I have, whether it's with my friends, if it's with my boyfriend who was supposed to be here today. Sorry, sidebar.
It's okay, Nick. We still love you.
Big hearts. I'm gonna pull the would you say that to little me though?
Kind of cute. And before we jump to the end of the show, a little update on last week. Whatever last week's show was exactly, we talked about some astrology components. Calista convinced me to download CoStar earlier this week.
I did.
It's been a trip. It told me not to do things like mental math.
Which earlier in the show, which you'll probably see in post when our lovely producers edit this, we said the fair thing started on Monday. It's a Tuesday, so we listen. Sometimes CoStar steers you right. Sometimes it steers you to calling a Tuesday a Monday.
Well, okay, so it told me not to do mental math on Wednesday. And of course, I started thinking about this show days in advance, obviously. So I'm thinking about this on Wednesday. When's the fair drive-through? I couldn't do the mental math, so I just wrote down whatever came to mind. I think that was the problem.
Yeah.
Assumedly so.
Orlin, you're new to CoStar. Well, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out what energies to claim. You know, it's great. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Well, with that, we wrap up Carolina Calendar for today, April 15th, 2022.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
And to keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For SGTV News 4, I'm Will Kronsberg.
And I'm Calista Pushman. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great weekend, Carolina. Forever to thee.